Hello children, let's come back to our maths class. I hope you all are fine and you're doing all your studies, all your homeworks, all your assignments properly. So in the last class we have studied about square root and we have seen two methods for finding square root. One was by factorization method, that was from exercise 3.7. So we have done different sums based on factorization, and now we are continuing with exercise 3.8, which deals with the division method. And already from division method we have completed the first part and the second part. Today we are going to continue from the third sum. So let's start our class. Take down your classwork, write down today's date, write question number 3. Find the values of A and B if the following polynomials are perfect squares. Take out the question. First subpart, 4x raised to 4 minus 12x cube plus 37x square plus bx plus a. While you copy your question, just check whether you have written all the powers properly, whether you have inserted all the signs properly. Check your questions properly. If the question goes wrong, everything goes wrong. So check your question twice or thrice. Check it. Have you taken down a question? Always start a sum in a new page. You know this type of sums are lengthier. So always use a new page for doing your sums. Do not just write 2 or 3 sums in one page. It will look untidy. So just write neatly. Presentation is very, very important. Okay, now let's go to our sum. So we have taken the question. Now just read the question once again. The question says, find the values of A and B if the following polynomials are perfect squares. Just see here children. So here, in the given polynomial, 2 values are unknown, yes. But in the previous case, that is when we have completed, when we are doing our first sum and when we did our second sum, all the values were known to us. There were no unknown values. But in question number 3, we have an unknown value. Here, what are the unknown values, children? We have to find the value for B and also we have to find the value for A. But one condition is given, the polynomials are perfect squares. What do you mean by polynomials are perfect squares? This means the remainder part is 0. So what will be the remainder here? The remainder will be 0. Why the remainder is 0? Since the polynomial is a perfect square. So just remember that we have to take the remainder as 0 when the condition is polynomials are perfect squares. So let's continue our sum. Draw a division line. Draw neatly. Use your scale and pencil, children, to draw the lines. Check whether the polynomial is in standard form. Have a check. Yes, first it starts from 4, the power is 4, second power is 3, it's 2, it's 1, yeah, what's the power here? 0. So the polynomial is in standard form because the powers are arranged in decreasing order. It starts from 4, it goes to 3, then it goes to 2, then it goes to 1, at the last it becomes 0. So let's arrange the polynomials over here. 4x raised to 4 minus 12x cube plus 37x square plus bx plus a. We have to follow the normal procedure that we have followed for our sum number 1 and sum number 2. So just take the first term away. What's the first term here? It's 4x raised to 4. So we have to find the square root of 4x raised to 4. What's the square root of 4, children? Yeah, square root of 4 is 2 into 2. That's you get here 2. Yes. And what is the square root of x raised to 4? It is x square. x raised to 4, that is square root of x raised to 4 is x square into x square. So the answer is x square. So what is the square root of first term? The square root of first term is 2x square. So how many times we have to write it? We have to write it 3 times. So let's write down first in the quotient part 2x square. Then you have to write it outside. Do not just go to the edge. Leave little space and you write here. So 2x square. 2x square. Present your numbers properly, present your terms properly so that it looks neat. So the first step, what was the first step, children? So we have taken the square root of the first term, and what was the square root of 4x raised to 4? The square root is 2. The square root of 4 is 2. Square root of x raised to 4 is x square. Already I have told you, yes. What will be the square root of x raised to 16, children? It will be x raised to 8. You have to just take half of, that is x raised to 8, x raised to 8. X raised to 20. What will be the square root of x raised to 20? X raised to 10, x raised to 10. That is, the square root will be x raised to 10. So do not get confused. Just think and answer. Okay, so we have done the first part. So now let's come to the second part. Before we come to the second part, let's cancel this term, first term. So 2x square into 2x square gives you 4x raised to 4. So what happens? The term gets cancelled. What are you going to do? Bring all the left out terms. So what are the left out terms here? Minus. You have to take the sign also. Sign is very important. Take the left out terms plus the sign. So minus 12x cube plus 37x square plus bx plus c. Is this step clear to you? First step is clear to you, yes? I hope so it's clear to you. So just take out the leftover terms along with the sign. Okay. So now let's add 2x square plus 2x square. Do not write as 4x raised to 4. It's totally wrong. Just you have to add the coefficients. So 2 plus 2 gives you 4. The variables are same here, yes? X square, x square. So just write down single x square. Do not confuse. It's addition and here we have to do multiplication. So just check the operations that you are following. So when we add 2x square and 2x square, we get 4x square. So the first step is done. Now let's go for the second step. You have to show the working part in your rough column. I do not want the answers directly. So just follow the steps. You have to show the steps in the rough part. Okay. Now for the second step, we have to take the first term of the polynomial and the first term over here. So what's the first term here, children? It's minus 12x cube upon 4x squared. Let's divide it. Minus 12x cube upon 4x squared. So what gets cancelled over here? In the numerator part we have 3x. Denominator part we have 2x. So 2x, here 2x will get cancelled. So only 1x is left here. 4 ones are 4 3s are. So what is left? Minus 3x. Yes, correct. A minus sign is present here. Yes. Then 3 is there. Already we have written over here. And how many x are left here? 1. So you have written here minus 3x. So again we have to write that minus 3x 3 times. So let's place that minus 3x properly in the quotient part 1. Then here, outside. Minus 3x, minus 3x. Have you taken down? We are going very slowly. So just note down the terms, note down the steps carefully, children. Okay, now let's proceed further. So now what you have to do is, we have to multiply 4x square minus 3x with 3x, that is minus 3x. So I'll just show the multiplication over here. 4x square minus 3x into minus 3x. Try out this, some children. Do the multiplication part. Have you multiplied? Yes. Give me the answer. Yes, it's 12. 4 3s are 12. We have a minus sign here. So it's minus 12. X square into x. So here 2x, here 1x. So total 3x. So x cube 4x square into minus 3x. 4 3s are 12. We have one negative sign, so we have to add here negative sign. 2x and 1x. So totally 3x. So how to write? X cube. Do not write 3x. Okay, you have to just write it as x cube. Okay, coming to the next part. Minus 3x into minus 3x. First write the value. 3 into 3, it's 9. Done. Minus minus, we have 2 minus sign, children. So when we have 2 minus sign, the answer becomes plus. Plus x into x. 2x, we have 2x. So how to represent? X square. So what is expansion? Minus 12x cube plus 9x square. So let's write down below the polynomial. So we get here minus 12x cube plus 9x square. Let's try to simplify it. So what is the main sign followed in division? It's subtraction. So we have to use a subtraction sign here. Once we use a subtraction sign, we have to change the sign of the second part. So the minus turns to be plus, the plus turns to be minus. So let's solve and get the answer. Here 4x square is alone, yeah? So just write here 4x square. Minus minus, it's plus. So 3 plus 3, it's 6. Minus minus plus. 3 plus 3, 6. The sign, there we have a common sign here. So just put here minus. So it's 4x square minus 6x. Minus 12x cube plus 12x cube gets cancelled. Now what's the answer for 37 minus 9? 37 minus 9. Just get the answer. How's the answer? 9 plus 8. So you get 28. 28x square. Now we have done. Yes, children. So we have simplified. We have 4x square was kept as 4x square. Minus 3x is minus 6x. So this gets cancelled. 37, do not take this sign, okay, we have already changed the sign, so we have to take the changed sign. So 37 minus 9 gives you 28x square. So next step is whatever terms are left out, we have to bring it down. So what are left out terms here? Plus bx plus a. Now as usual, like the step that we have followed earlier. What's the first term here? The first term is 28x square. What is the first term here? 4x square. Let's divide it. So 28x square upon 4x square. Okay, give me the answer, children. 28x square upon 4x square. It gives you 7. Yes. See here, x square gets cancelled. 4 ones are 4 sevens are. So the answer is 7. So how many times we have to write down 7? We have to write it thrice. So let us write. So plus 7, follow the sign also. We have a plus sign here. So plus 7, again plus 7. Okay. Now, we have to take this expression, yes. So you have to take this expression and you have to multiply by 7. Let's multiply and get the answer. 4x square minus 6x plus 7 into 7. So what do you get, children, here? 4 into 7, 28x square. Okay, write the power properly. Then minus 6x into 7. It's minus 42x. Minus 6x into 7 minus 42x. 7 into 7 plus 45. So what is the expression we get over here? It's 28x square minus 42x plus 49. So let's write down the expression. Place the terms properly. So it's 28x square minus 42x plus 49. We cannot just go further. We will use the condition that was given in the question. the question they have given that polynomials are perfect square, and I have told you when the polynomials are perfect square, the remainder will turn to 0. So just put here 0. We have not completed our sum. We have to find the value for B and A. It is A and B. Let's see how to proceed further. Just take down till here. It's 4x square minus 6x plus 14. I'll just complete this part also, left part also. Okay, and one more thing. So just we have introduced here 0. The answer is 0. So just put a main sign here as minus and change the sign of the second part. So this plus becomes minus, plus. Here it's minus. So it turns to be plus. Here it's minus. Yes. So we can cancel this term. Now what is left? Bx plus a. And here what is left? Plus 42x minus 49. So this is the thing that is being left out. We don't know what to do further. So I'll tell you what is the next step. Okay, have you taken on the sum, children? Okay, now let's come to the final step. Now we are going to find out the unknown values. That is, we are going to get the value for A and B. Just see here, children. Just see the like terms over here. See here. This is x. This is x. So they are like terms. Yes. That is bx and minus. Here minus was there, but we have changed. So it becomes plus 42x. So what we get here? So you are going to take these two terms together. And similarly here they are constants. Here it's without a x term. And here the number is without any variable. So you have to say that this is a constant term here. So take the x terms together and take the constant terms together. So I'll write the answer part over here, children. So what we get here? See how to write. See, B. I'm not going to take the this one variable. I'm just going to take the coefficients. So what is the coefficient here? It's plus b. And what is the coefficient here? It's plus 42. So b plus 42 is equal to 0. Are you getting the step? I'm just taking the like term. So which terms I am taking over here? I am taking bx term and I am taking 42x. But remember, no need to write the variables because they will get cancelled. So just take the coefficient. So what is the coefficient of x here? It's plus b. What is the coefficient of x here? It's plus 42. So b plus 42 is equal to 0. So what is the value for b, children? Therefore, b is equal to minus 42. So we got one value. So we have got the value for b. The value for b is minus 42. Now let's find the value for a. So what we have here? Yes. So what do you get here? I'll just write it. Just continue here, no problem. A minus 49 is equal to 0. Therefore, A is equal to 49. So the unknown values is being found. So we got the value for A and B. The value for A is 49 and value for B is minus 42. So that is the final solution. Therefore, A is equal to 49, B is equal to minus 45. So this is the final answer. Highlight your answer. Okay, take down the sum, children. Do it properly. I hope you have taken down the sum. Listen to me carefully. The first subpart was the classwork. Yes, we have done in our classwork. So now from question number 3, the second subpart will be your homework. Question number 3, that is exercise 3.8. I am just mentioning the homework part over here. Question number 3, the second subpart is your homework. You have to just follow the first part and you have to get the two unknown values. That is A and B. Now here just see, children. In the second part, what is given? Just listen to me carefully. For the second part, the unknown is given in the first term itself, yes? So we just cannot proceed our sum with the unknown part. So what you have to do is, you have to arrange the polynomial in the ascending order. How it's given there? Ax raised to 4 plus bx cube plus 31x square plus 220x plus 100. Do not take this order. Actually, this is a standard form only. That is, they have given in a decreasing order. But you have to take the increasing order. So what will be the increasing order? It will start from 100. 100 plus 220x plus 361x square plus bx cube plus ax raised to 4. Then what is the first term there? 100. So what is the square root of 100? Yes, it's 10. Already you have written the squares of the numbers from 1 to 30. So just you can start with the number 10 and just go on following the steps. Follow your steps and you will come to a conclusion. That is, you will be able to find out the unknown values A and B. So try out the second subpart from question number 3 as homework. Okay, now let's move to the next question. Here on question number 4, write question number 4. Find the values of m and n if the following expressions are perfect squares. Again, they have given you the condition. The expressions are perfect squares. So what do you mean by expressions are perfect squares? Yes, the remainder is 0. So you have to consider the remainder as 0. So remember, whenever the condition is expressions are perfect squares or polynomials are perfect squares, you have to take the denominator as 0. So let's start the first subpart from question number 4. Copy down the question, children. Okay, children, let's start sum number 4. So write down the question. First subpart, 1 upon x raised to 4 minus 6 upon x cube plus 13 upon x square plus m upon x plus n. Write down the questions carefully, children. The third sum, it was just an expression. And the question number 4, we have the terms in forms of a fraction. So there is a difference. The sum may look complicated, but if you are thorough with your steps, whatever type of questions may be asked, you will be easy, or you will be ready to complete that sum easily. So just focus on the steps. Steps are very, very important. So understand the steps and follow your sums. Shall we start, children? Okay. So take a new page. I told you just for one sum you have to use a new page. Do not continue 2 sums or do not write 3 sums in a single page. I just want one sum in one page. So first part, question number 4, first subpart. Plus 13 upon x square plus m upon x plus n. Okay, so we have taken down the expression. Okay, now let's proceed our sum. So you are going to tell me what are the steps. So you are going to do this sum, okay? So draw a division line. Done. Check whether the expressions or whether the polynomials are in order. Of course, they are in the standard form. They will be giving you the standard form because it's in the fraction form. Okay. So just write down the terms as it is. 1 upon x raised to 4 minus 6 upon x cube plus 13 upon x square plus m upon x plus n. So we have taken down the expression. So what's the first step, children? You have to take the square root of the first term. So let's take the square root of the first term. What's that? It's just in the form of fraction. Do not get confused. Previously we were dealing with just the numbers, but now it is in the form of fractions. So just take the square root of a numerator and take the square root of a denominator. That's all. So what is the square root of 1, children? Square root of 1 is 1. And what is the square root of x raised to 4? Yes, it's x square. Done. So we have found the square root of the first term. That is, we have got the answer is 1 upon x square. So how many times you are going to write down? 3 times. So let's write down 1 upon x square 3 times. This question part is, do not get confused. So this is 1 upon x square, 1 upon x square in the quotient part, and just leave some space so that the sum looks neat, the presentation looks neat. Okay, so we have written 1 upon x square thrice, and what we write here? 1 upon x raised to 4. What is the main sign? The main sign is minus. So just add your minus sign. So the first term gets cancelled. Now let's see how to add the left out part, the left part. So it's 1 upon x square plus 1 upon x square. It's simple. See here, 1 upon x square plus 1 upon x square. What are the denominators? The denominators are same. What is the denominator over here? It's x square. So when you have a like denominator, take the numerators together. So you get 1 plus 1 upon x square, which is equal to 2 upon x square. 2 upon x square. So let's write the answer here. It's 2 upon x square. Now what is the next step? Just take down all the terms that is left over here. So you write down here minus 6 upon x cube plus 13 upon x square plus m upon x plus n. Children, we are going very slow, so you just note down the steps carefully. You have to understand the steps. It's very, very important. So just we have taken down the left out terms. It's minus 6 upon x cube plus 13 upon x square plus m upon x plus n. And what we have got here? 2 upon x square. Okay, what is this next step to be followed here? Yes, take out the first term and the first term and you have to divide them. So let's divide and let's check what is the answer we get here. So we have minus 6 upon x cube. So take here minus 6 upon x cube. Be careful, children, listen here. It's division, yes? So I'll just tell you how to do the sums directly because now you're not a small children. So just you have come to 10th. So you should know some tricks or you should know some shortcut methods to be followed. So it's minus 6 upon x cube, okay? Now, it's a division. So we never do the division directly. So division sign changes to multiplication. Listen to this statement carefully. We never use division directly. So what we do? We write in place of division, we write multiplication. So use your multiplication and instead of writing 2 upon x square, we have to take the reciprocal of it. So what is the reciprocal of 2 upon x square? The reciprocal of 2 upon x square is x square upon 2. Remember, you have to change the division sign into multiplication sign and you have to write the reciprocal of the next term. That is, we cannot write 2 upon x square as it is. We have to write the reciprocal, that is x square upon 2. Let's write down. So now let's see what we get after simplification. So x square and x cube. Yes children, so we can cancel 2x, 2x. So 1x is left in the denominator part. 2 ones are, 2 3s are. We have a negative sign also left here. So what is the term left out? Minus 3 upon x. So after simplifying, we get minus 3 upon x. Again, how many times we have to write minus 3 upon x? 3 times. So let's write it. It minus 3 upon x, minus 3 upon x, minus 3 upon x. Okay children? Let's try to simplify. So you have to take this part is 2 upon x square minus 3 upon x into minus 3 upon x. So just do the calculation part carefully. Try to do the calculation part and give me the answer. Okay, so let's see here. So let's multiply. So we have to take this part, yes. So I'll just do the calculation part here. It's 2 upon x square minus 3 upon x into minus 3 upon x. So multiply. 2 into 3, 6. We have a minus sign here. So minus 6 x square into x cube. Are you getting this step? We have to multiply this 2 part. So 2 3s multiply. When you multiply numerator and numerator, denominator and denominator. So 2 3s are 6. One negative sign. So minus x square and x cube. So you get here minus 6 upon x cube. Yes. Next, this term that minus 3x and minus 3x. Minus plus 3 3s are 9. X into x square. Are you getting the step children? Minus plus 3 3s are 9. X into x, it's x square. So what do you get here? What is the answer when you get after simplifying? Minus 6 upon x cube plus 9 upon x square. So let's write it down. So minus 6 upon x cube plus 9 upon x square. What is the main sign to be used? It's minus. So change the sign of the second part. So this turns to be plus, this turns to be minus. Okay. So what happens here? The first and the last, that is here we have the same terms but the signs are different. We have your minus, we have your plus. So just cancel it. Now 13 upon x square minus 9 upon x square. So this is like the same way we added, yes. So we added the terms with the like denominator. Similarly here we have 13 upon x square minus 9 upon x square. 13 upon x square minus 9 upon x square. So what is the answer children? It's 4 upon x square. Done. Now what is left out? See? Here also we will just complete the left part also here. So it's 2 upon x square minus 6 upon x. Minus 3 upon x minus 3. So minus plus. So 3 plus 3, 6. Minus gives you minus. That is both the terms, both the numbers are having the minus sign, yes. So your answer will be minus 6 upon x. So let's see the next step now. So now whatever is left here, what is left here? M upon x plus n. So just write it down here. Plus m upon x plus n. So what is the left out expression? 4 upon x square plus m upon x plus n. Okay, so let's see how to move further. Okay, so what is the first term here? The first term is 4 upon x square. And what is the first term here? 2 upon x square. So I have told you that we cannot do the division directly. So there is some method, that is we have to change the division in terms of multiplication. So let's take the first term here. 4 upon x square. Yes. Instead of writing division, what are you going to write? Multiplication. Yes. And what is the first term here? It's 2 upon x square. Instead of writing 2 upon x square, you have to take it as x square upon 2. Yes, that is we have to take the reciprocal. So write the reciprocal here, x square upon 2. So what happens? X square gets cancelled. 2 ones are 2 twos are. So what is the answer? Plus 2. So write plus 2 3 times. Plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. Okay. So let's see how to complete our answer. It's 2 upon x square minus 6 upon x plus 4 here, yes. And what should be the remainder? The remainder should be 0. So let's write the remainder part later on. Let's multiply and get the answer first. So 2 upon x square minus 6 upon x plus 2 into 2. Okay, so what is the answer? Let's expand it. 2 upon x square into 2. See here we don't have any denominator part, so you have to consider it as 1. Okay, so do not get confused. Whenever if a denominator is not present, the denominator should be considered or it should be taken as 1. So let's multiply now. 2 twos are 4. X square into 1, it's x square. Any number multiplied by 1 is the same number itself. So you get here, what is that? 2 into 2. 2 twos are 4. So I'll just show you here, children. See the step here? 2 upon x square. And what do you have here? 2. And what is the denominator taken? It should be taken as 1 since the denominator is not mentioned. So you have to write here upon 1. Let's multiply 2 into 2, 4, done. X square into 1, that is upon x square. So you get the answer as 4 upon x square. Let's follow the next step. Yes, what's the next thing here? It's minus 6 upon x. And what is the number here? 2 upon 1. So let's multiply. You do the multiplication, children. Try out the multiplication. Yes, so how are you going to start? It's minus 6 upon x into 2 upon 1. See, 6 into 2, 12. How many negative signs we have here? 1. So the answer will be minus 12. X into 1 gives you x. So the answer is minus 12 by x. And the last term, it's multiply 2 and 2. So when you multiply 2 and 2, what do you get? It's 4. Okay, so we have got our answer. The answer is 4 upon x square minus 12 upon x plus 4. Just assemble our answer over here. Write down the answer, children. It's 4 upon x square. For the second term, it's minus 12 upon x. Lastly, we have plus 4. Okay, for division, what is the main sign used? It's subtraction. So just put a minus sign over here. Done. Now once we add main sign as minus, we have to change the sign of the second part. Do not forget to change the sign. So change the second part sign. So plus turns to be minus, minus turns to be plus, and again plus turns to be minus. So now let's see how to proceed our sum. Here, see that terms are same as 4 upon x square, 4 upon x square. But this is a positive, this is a negative. So just cancel it out. And we cannot do any other step. Yes, just we have to stop here. And one thing remember, the question was, the expressions are perfect square. Since the expressions are perfect squares, you have to write there 0. Where are you going to write 0? The remainder becomes 0. Why are we writing 0 here? Since the expressions are perfect squares. So we still have not found our final answer. So one more step to go. So let's see how to continue our sum. So just take down your answers. Write down your steps properly, children. Write down the fractions properly. Write down the powers properly. Write down the signs properly. Just we are going very slowly. I am just going step by step. So you have to follow the step. You have to write your steps in the rough part. Follow your rough work. Do not solve the sum directly. You have to show steps. Okay. So I hope you have taken down the steps. Now let's conclude our answer. That is, we are going to find out the value for m and n. We just see here, children. So what is left out here? M upon x minus 12 upon x. So let's take that part. So m upon x minus 12 upon x is equal to 0. So what we have? M upon x here. The second and the third term. M upon x. Here it's minus 12 upon x. But what we have changed is plus 12 upon x. So you have to take it here. Plus 12 upon x is equal to 0. And one more thing left out. It's n. Do not take the sign. You have to take the change sign. So what is the sign that is being changed? It's minus. So you have to take n minus 4 is equal to 0. Okay, let's try to solve and get the value for m and n. So this is, see here, actually this is x. We don't take this x part. We can directly take m plus 12, no problem. If we take x, we have this one more step to be followed. Let's see the step. It's m plus 12. Since the denominators are like this, they are denominators are same. So take the denominators as a common denominator. This is equal to 0. So when we cross multiply, what happens? X into 0 turns to be 0. So m plus 12 is equal to 0. Therefore, m is equal to minus 12. I'll just repeat the step again, children. We have m upon x. Do not take the previous sign. We have to take the new sign. That is minus 12 upon x is changed to plus 12 upon x. So you have to take plus 12 upon x is equal to 0. So m plus 12, numerator has been taken together since we have a like denominator here. So m plus 12 upon x is equal to 0. So it gets, when you cross multiply, you get m plus 12 is equal to 0. Therefore m is equal to minus 12. Now we have n minus 4 is equal to 0. This is very simple conversion. Yes, n is equal to 4. So we have found two unknown values. Yes, children. We have found the value for m and also we have found the value for n. So let's write the final statement. Therefore, m is equal to minus 12, n is equal to 4. Highlight your final statement. Highlight your final statement, children. Have we taken down the sum? So we have completed the first subpart from question number 4. Now one more work for you. You have to complete second subpart from question number 4. So I have just given you two sums. One is from third question and one from fourth question. So your homework for today is question number 3, second subpart, and question number 4, second subpart. So we have completed our exercise 3.8. So we have seen the methods to find square root. One was by factorization and one by division. Just go for practice, do the sum, try the sums, and you will be clear by this method. So we stop our class over here. We'll meet in the next class.